Call the police.
Get out of the car.
We've heard of criminals stooping low for all sorts of weird things, but these ones dug really deep, literally. Just when we thought crime couldn't get any creepier, here come some stories straight out of a horror movie. Hang tight, folks.
Yes, you're being detained. Have a seat. He's in the water.
Today's video is going to dig deep as I reveal thieves caught digging up graves and more. Number 1, Tangs Grave. Grave robbers didn't waste any time as they broke into Tangs Grave just a day after he was buried. It's actually tradition to bury the dead with a lot of cash and jewelry, but I think the only mistake made here is streaming it all live on Facebook. Yep. Along with all the valuables inside the grave, robbers also found out where this man was buried, making it an easy target. Plus, it wasn't like the casket was left there unattended or anything either. It was actually inside a concrete block, and I'm just trying to figure out how these robbers broke into it without alerting anyone. Thankfully, the grave robbers couldn't get far as the police eventually rushed them during their escape. I guess you could say these thieves dug themselves in a hole. Either way, if there's one thing we've learned from this entire incident, it's that you don't stream a whole funeral proceeding on Facebook. Number 2, at least leave the flowers. Imagine being so inconsiderate that you literally go grave to grave stealing flowers. What is this woman even trying to do? Is she trying to make a garden of stolen flowers at home? What a cheapskate. I mean, what are these flowers even for? I swear she's the type of mom who's probably stealing these flowers for her kid's birthday or something. But wait, after researching a bit more, I discovered this woman actually runs a flower shop. Imagine how many people bought these stolen flowers from her. Number 3, hidden camera. Believe it or not, this isn't the first time this man has stolen flowers from this grave. It's a regular occurrence that eventually forced the family to install a hidden camera. And that's when this sucker gets caught red-handed in the act. I never thought I'd say this, but I think people robbing stores or something are actually better than these petty thieves. Plus, how broke are people these days considering they have to steal flowers from a grave? Number 4, why is it always senior citizens? Quick question, guys. Why is it always old people? Almost every grave robber we've seen so far has been an old person. Like this man right here who just walks past a grave, grabbing a cute pinwheel in the process. Well, I got some bad news for this fellow right here. After the family published his images in the local newspaper, officers had no trouble locating the man. Watch the satisfying moment as he's cuffed up and thrown into jail. The apologies aren't going to help now, bud. Number 5, caught and sentenced. Eat dirt, thief. No, literally. Eat dirt. This footage is from a news report that shows an elderly lady step out of her car, nab some flowers, and run back in. Little did she know she'd been caught on the cam. And this wasn't just a one-time thing. She's been doing this for months now. But all that has to come to an end as the police have finally taken her in. And the best part is how she's been handed a jail sentence as well for stooping so low. Number 6, it's a trend. Watch as these 2 women help themselves in a grave theft frenzy. They didn't leave a single grave that day. They stole pretty much anything they could get their hands on. And like the last clip, this footage is from a news report that later stated that both women had been arrested. But now for the interesting bit, and it's a trend. Old people have a thing for robbing graves. Believe it or not, these women were both more than 60 years old. Number 7, beaten by an entire village. These grave robbers got a rude awakening after being ambushed by an entire village. I didn't include the part when they got mauled by the angry mob, but you can see them here being interrogated by the media after getting caught. According to these grave diggers, someone tipped them they'd find some valuable stuff left behind by the Germans. But that doesn't really make sense considering how they stole clothes and pretty much anything they could find in those graves. And the crazy bit is how these people literally wanted to bury the thieves in the graves they were initially stealing from. Number 8, sandwich stealer. So since this video is all about freaky robbers stealing weird things, let's talk about the serial sandwich thief. This man didn't settle on one sandwich. No, sir. He stole 5 different sandwiches, making sure he had some variety for the entire day. But the way he did it was just super hilarious. He's stuffing his zipper with them, and at one point he ends up looking like a sandwich himself. He's in character as he makes small talk about the sandwiches with the cashier as well, before stuffing in some more. And I'm not sure if you've been to these stores, but that section is called the grab and go. I'm guessing this dumb thief here took that a bit too seriously. Number 9, teaching your kid to steal. Watch as this man passes the torch to his son. It's a beautiful moment as he's just trained his son how to be a thief. And honestly, I don't blame the kid here because he probably had no idea what he was doing. Anyway, he hands him 2 bottles of chocolate milk and walks up to the counter. The kid is hiding behind his dad, and that's when he signals him to walk straight out. These parents seriously need to be reported to child services. I mean, they're literally teaching him how to be a future criminal. And if he ever ends up in jail, these two will be 100% responsible. Number 10. Balenciaga Thieves. 24 seconds, folks. That's all it took these thieves to steal $94,000 worth of Balenciaga bags, and even though they managed to get away on the spot, they had no getaway vehicle. So just imagine how weird they must have looked running through the streets with a ton of high-end bags. I mean, whatever happened to blending in? But because they were on foot, the police nabbed all of them in just an hour. Number 11. Committed to the job. Straight off the bat, you can tell something isn't right here. All the bags these 3 women are carrying are full of stolen goods, and while they appear to be window shopping, they've been bagging pretty much anything of value from this Macy's store. But when they're about to walk out, an employee tries stopping them and gets pepper sprayed in the process. Now get ready for the twist. These thieves were so committed to the job that they actually dressed up as women. Yep, you heard that right. None of them are actually women. They're men dressed up as women. I mean, that's what I call serious commitment right there. I wonder how much money they spent to look the part. Number 12. Sorry thieves. Keep your eye on the lady in blue. Even though she seems like a regular shopper, she's actually in the mood for some crime. The woman in the yellow is her accomplice, and you can see how she desperately tries to distract the worker. As soon as the yellow dress here gets her shot, she nabs a bunch of saris in a second, hiding them under her dress. I bet she needed to work out a lot for this crime. I mean, squeezing all those dresses between her legs and walking normally definitely isn't a walk in the park. Number 13. Flash mob. Flash mobs aren't exactly something new at Apple stores. Watch as these thieves rush in and steal $27,000 worth of items from the store. And the poor family is just standing there in the middle. I bet they were wondering what's even going on. Even in the next clip, you can see them rush in, grab everything they can get their hands on, and dash out in a matter of seconds. But this clip is actually educational. That's exactly what you should do if you're ever caught in between a flash mob theft. Just stand there and let these fools do their things. Most of the devices have locks that usually go off in case they're stolen, making the device useless. Number 14. BMW showroom wiped clean. A Z4, 750L, and M8. More than $200,000 worth of BMWs were stolen from this showroom in less than 20 seconds. And even though these thieves were later nabbed on the highway, this was like a scene out of GTA 5. It's almost like the real-life version of Gone in 60 Seconds. They would have definitely been traced because of all that fresh cash after dumping the vehicles. Number 15. 500,000 gone overnight. It was another day at the job when these thieves stole 5 cars from a dealership. And while car crimes aren't exactly something new, the owner of the dealership thinks it was an inside job. It's like these snoopy thieves knew exactly which car to nab, considering how they only went for the ones that were unlocked. Could it be that an underperforming salesman wanted the dealership to take a hit? Or were these guys actually the salesmen themselves? I think it might be the latter because they knew how to unlock these vehicles using just their laptops. Number 16. Another pandemic? Do these thieves know something we don't? I mean, why else would they be stealing $1,600 worth of paper towels or detergents? Or maybe they made a big mess and didn't have enough money to clean it.
Told $1,600 worth of products were stolen.
Either way, this is nothing but a petty crime as we see these fools stuffing their car with the stolen items. And what's even crazier is how an employee is standing right beside them, filing the entire incident. Like, where are the cops when you need them? Plus, you don't need to fight them. You could have just slashed their tires or something. That would have been fun, right? All that effort for nothing. Also, at the very end of the clip, you'll notice that there's no number plate on the vehicle. It looks like these guys came up with a plan. Number 17. The meat thief. This dude looks nothing like a thief, but in reality, he's actually robbed this store of over $5,000 of quality meat. Even though it appears he's putting all that meat in his jacket, he's actually hiding it in his jumper. He then proceeds to pay for some small items while walking home with his favorite cuts. Weird, but okay. Number 18. What an embarrassment. Dude, all that effort for a candy bar? He thinks the drinks dispenser is like a free test area. He pours himself a Dr. Pepper but doesn't seem to like it. So let's just waste half the glass and try some Mountain Dew. That's not really good either, so let's pour that away as well. Alright, I think he's done now. But wait, it's not going to be that easy, my guy. That shopkeeper comes running out and orders him to pay for that candy bar he just stole. He pretends to have put it back, and that's when the owner shows him the security footage. He's eventually forced to pay for it. But what a confused candy crook.
Now, he's going to reach down there and he's going to grab a pack of Starburst. He's going to finally stand up. He's going to look up at the counter one more time for insurance, and then he's going to slide that pack of Starburst into his left pocket.
Just imagine getting busted as an adult for stealing a Starburst. That's just embarrassing, man. Number 19. Surprise, this shoplifter got a lovely surprise after being greeted by the cops right outside the changing room. The store caught her walking in with some merchandise, but when she exited, it was never there. My guess is she probably wore it under all that clothing. But yeah, that's one intense chase right there. And all for what? To jump in the passenger seat? At least get in the driving seat, lady. Thankfully, another officer arrives on the scene just in time to help the first cop cuff her up. I think this is why these teens need to stay in school. Number 1, you don't wear Crocs when you're shoplifting. And secondly, you don't hop in the passenger seat without a getaway driver. Number 20. Thumbs up. Honestly, this has to be the most pathetic moped thieves I've ever seen. They can't get it to start up, and when they do, they drive straight into a parked vehicle. It was parked, guys. How did you still manage to crash right into it? And anyway, one of the thieves ends up breaking his thumb while the other one just speeds off, abandoning him. But this is where the fun starts, and he's just sitting on the sidewalk begging them to call the ambulance for his thumb.
An ambulance! Call an ambulance!
But the person recording the clip is phoning the cops instead. Thumbs up for this lad who caught the entire scene on cam, and yes, pun intended. Number 21. Credit for trying. This kid is going to grow up to be a huge scam artist. He just tried outsmarting this cashier into giving him extra change. His bill is $7, but he first hands the cashier $5, claiming that's all he has. That's clearly a lie after he pulls out an entire wad of cash. He then slides him a $20 bill, and the cashier gives him $13 in change. And that's when he tries being slick. He pretends the cashier handed him a $5 instead of $10, but that's the same $5 he gave him earlier.
I gave you a 10.
What is it?
I gave you a 10.
Nice try, kid. He deserves credit for trying, but he's a dangerous kid. Number 22. BMW Stolen In Minutes. As stupid as it looks, this antenna actually works. It's a relay attack, and you can see one of the carjackers walking around trying to get this BMW to open up. Believe it or not, this is actually a new theft tactic that has just hit the market, and thieves have been able to steal millions of dollars worth of vehicles. And when this thief finally finds the sweet spot, the car just opens up on its own for the taking. They both hop in, and that's it. That's all it took to steal a BMW. A weird-looking homemade antenna. I think it's time we brought back those bulky manual locks. Number 23. Thief gets whipped out of a truck. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. An entire Amazon truck full of packages. Imagine all the money to be made. But if only this guy knew how to drive, and he's swerving the steering wheel around like it's a toy car or something. And that's when we see him either hit the curb or go over something, sending him flying out of the truck. I swear, it's like God planned this entire thing out, and the fact that he flew right out the door is just hilarious. I bet that was a real humbling experience right there. Number 24. Gone in 60 seconds. Remember that weird-looking antenna? Well, it turns out there's been an upgrade. These thieves are also using some sort of a relay device to nab this nice-looking BMW. The thief first establishes a connection, unlocking the doors. He then walks around the house trying to find that sweet spot to start the car up. And bam! The car switches on, and these thieves are off in a matter of just 60 seconds. At this point, I'm just wondering, is keyless technology even worth it? Number 25. The Lego Thief. This footage is from a news report that shows the moment police bagged a man for stealing $1,700 worth of Legos. Now, if you're a Lego fan like me, it's possible you might have an idea why this guy did it. See, unlike all other Lego fans who save up money to buy those cool, expensive sets, this thief just robs them. He first steals them from the store, opens them up, and actually builds them. Yep, he builds the set and then puts it all back only to sell it on eBay.
Some Lego sets are being stolen and then resold online, and they could fetch hundreds, sometimes even up to thousands of dollars.
It turns out these sets have a crazy resale value, so it's like a two-in-one. Not only is he getting to build all the latest sets, but he's also making a buck off them. Number 26. Could have been prevented. Watch as these reckless teens literally use an angle grinder to steal this bike in broad daylight. That's a confident bunch right there. But what's even more annoying is how all these guys are just standing there. I mean, you could have easily stepped in and stopped this from happening. And I get it. Sure, they have an angle grinder that can be used as a weapon. But seriously, people, there are about 100 people on the street at any given moment. They could have easily apprehended these wild teens and turned them over to the cops. But all we have now is a hardworking citizen who just had his bike stolen by these crooks while hundreds of people looked on. So, yeah, even though we're talking about thieves getting caught, I don't think these boys actually got caught. It's more like they were allowed to get away with it. Number 27. Beach thieves. Ever wondered what's worse than a Karen? Two Karens, like these two ladies here trying to steal an entire canopy. The man recording the clip is the real owner, who politely asks them to get away from his stuff.
This is our stuff.
This is yours?
Yes.
And what's even crazier is how the lady in the orange says those chairs are theirs. Literally everything there is owned by this man, you thief! Just watch how confused she acts, knowing she's been caught in the act. And as for the other lady, the audacity. Attacking someone you were just trying to steal from is next-level entitlement. Number 28. The detergent duo. Now, I'm positive there's something going on that we don't know about. Why are more and more thieves starting to steal detergents? And in case these two are selling them in black, the question is there really a black market for detergents? Anyway, the store security and some other customers managed to prevent them from pulling out the last cart full of stolen goods. And I swear, watching this thief fight for a single bottle of detergent is just embarrassing at this point. But yeah, here's some music for your ears. Both of these snoopy thieves have already been caught and are currently behind bars. Number 29. Thief jumps off bridge. I guess all the memes about Florida are right then. Like this Florida man over here who literally jumped off a bridge to escape the cops. He had just stolen from a store and was casually walking on this bridge when officers cornered him. With nowhere left to run, he had no other option but to jump in the water. It's like these thieves are just getting dumber and dumber, to be honest. Anyway, a police boat later found the man just floating around in the water, all tired and exhausted. I'm just trying to imagine what his attorney must have said in the courtroom. Number 30. Bait bike. You're going to love this clip. But a disclaimer, this was actually a prank to see who steals. Not only do we get to see thieves fail miserably, but it's also hilarious to see how embarrassed they look afterward. Plus, that water throw is just a crazy twist, like they just fell face first and then got greeted by a whole cup of water. Also, even though this is super satisfying, I'm still amazed at how easily people just take things that don't belong to them. But, yeah, that splash of water right in the face isn't just humiliating, it's almost like a slap in the face that out of all the people around, you were the only one dumb enough to steal a bike. And another cool thing is how their faces are all over the internet now. Thieves deserve to be called out, and trust me, there's nothing better than public justice. I bet they're never going to go near another unattended bike ever again. Number 31. Walked right into it. It doesn't get any better than this, folks. Walking straight into the cop, it's like their entire lives flash right in front of their eyes and they're all smiles, carrying a TV and other stolen items as they walk out the back of a neighborhood Costco. Everything is going according to plan. The getaway driver is also waiting, but the cops got there first, and they're literally waiting for them to come out as well. Plus, if you listen closely, you'll also realize how the cops had an awesome time busting these fools as well. We can hear one of them say, "Hey buddy," at the start of the clip, while the person recording goes, "Got him." Number 32. Impatient thief. I'm at a loss for words. The package hadn't even been delivered yet, but this thief had already run off with it. Talk about an impatient thief. And when you think about it, that isn't even porch pirating anymore. This is literally a federal crime, considering how he snatched it right out of her hand. That's mail theft right there. This dude is like those seagulls you encounter at a beach who stole food right out of your hand. But, yeah, I'm glad the homeowner comforted her about the entire situation instead of freaking out over her stolen package. Number 33. India isn't for beginners. I'm not going to lie, this was intense. The fact that this robber just stole her purse from a moving train is just crazy. And thankfully, there were other passengers standing nearby who saved this woman from being dragged off herself as well. India isn't for beginners, guys. At least the thief's face was caught on cam. They should put up pictures of him at every station. Number 34. Sleight of hand. That is one sneaky woman right here. Watch how she brilliantly steals money out of the other lady's purse in under a minute. You might have missed it. She actually unzips her purse when she first bumps into her. And you can tell our victim here is already a bit uncomfortable, But there's no way a lady her age can be a robber, right? Well, think again. In just a few movements, the thief has successfully taken out a wad of cash from this woman's purse. And the craziest part is how she uses that money to pay for whatever she just bought. I bet Auntie right here is an inspiration for aspiring pickpockets all over the world. This definitely wasn't her first time, considering how clean that was. Anyway, that's it from our side, folks. So, what do you think? Have you seen any weird robberies? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more interesting content in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.